But other visitors, like the French Jesuit Pierre-François Xavier de Charlevoix, are less impressed.
Their carefree attitude, an aversion to sustained work, and a spirit of independence, these are their most obvious weaknesses. It is as though the air one breathes in this vast continent contributes to them. But their contact with the natural inhabitants is more than enough to shape this character.
The Jesuits have had a college in Quebec since 1635, where the same curriculum is taught as in France. But the young Canadians prefer a more practical education.
Many are convinced that they are not suited to the sciences that require considerable diligence and sustained study. But no one can deny their rare genius for the mechanical arts. They almost need no teacher to excel, and every day we see some of them succeed in every trade without even an apprenticeship.
After more than a century, the Canadians have made their peace with winter. For 6 months, they are free from work in the fields, free to relax and socialize, and kick up their heels. Judge Pierre Rambaud strongly disapproves of one favorite winter pastime.
In the city of Montreal, all those, even the officers, who have a carriage or team of horses, take pride in galloping at full speed through the streets. Most of these braggarts bring their wild horses to town to raise them, and they will trample anyone in their path.
But not all the Canadians love winter.
I tremble at the thought that we are stuck with snow for the next 9 months. I'd rather be in France. At least I wouldn't be exposed to freeze and die in a pile of snow.
Elizabeth Bégon, widow of the governor of Trois-Rivières, hates the cold. Yet she was born here and is a member of the new local aristocracy.
Everyone is hoping to shine at the ball that we expect Monsieur Bigot will give here. Monsieur Bigot is causing a lot of expenses, for there are not enough teachers here for all those who wish to learn how to dance.
The colonial upper class models itself after the French aristocrats who come here, like the new intendant, François Bigot. They live in a world of balls, flirtations, and scandal.
Would you believe it, that devout Madame Verchères held a dance that lasted all through the night? Our priests are going to have something to preach about. To hold a ball on the feast of Notre Dame. What is even better is that tomorrow there is another at Madame Lavaltries, and the day after tomorrow at Madame Bragelonne's.
In 1750, Elizabeth Bégon's wish comes true. She moves to France, free at last of the Canadian winter she so detests. But she is soon disappointed.
In France, I believed that with money, one could have anything one wanted. But in truth, I find that things here are better than in Canada, only in December, January, and February. Everything else is worse.
The aristocrats of Versailles give her a nickname, l'Iroquoise. She will never return to Canada. "1749 was a good year for the people of New France. But far away, great forces are being set in motion, forces that will shatter their lives. Acadia took its name from the Garden of the Gods in Greek mythology. Some of the best land in North America is found here, so fertile that the Acadians have never suffered epidemics of scurvy, typhus, or cholera. But they live on a continental fault line, caught on the colonial frontier where two great empires meet. Acadia has been handed back and forth between France and England at least 6 times. The treaties give it 2 names at once, Acadia or Nova Scotia. In 1713, France finally gives up Acadia to the English for good. 2,000 French subjects, peaceable farmers, live here. They are given a year to move elsewhere in New France. But most decide to stay. The English demand they must swear an oath of allegiance to their new king. The Acadians delay, then refuse. A delegate from Beaubassin explains why.
While our ancestors were under English rule, such an oath was never required of them.
5 years after the handover, Governor Richard Phillips is not optimistic.
They will neither swear allegiance nor leave the country.
With Newfoundland and Acadia now in English hands, France decides to make the most of its one remaining possession on the Atlantic coast, Ile Royale. France builds a huge fortress at Louisbourg. It soon becomes the center of French military and commercial power in the North Atlantic and earns the hatred of the English in Boston. In Nova Scotia, another irritant. Some Acadians begin plotting against the English, inciting the Indians to rise up against them. As tension mounts, the oath becomes essential. To persuade the Acadians to agree, Phillips promises they will not have to bear arms. He says nothing of this to his superiors in London, nor is it mentioned in the oath.
Je promets et jure sincèrement en foi de chrétien que je serai entièrement fidèle et obéirai.
But Alexandre Bourg-Belhumour, a notary, witnesses the promise as it is made.
We certify that His Excellency Sir Richard Phillips has promised the inhabitants of the Minas Basin that they are exempted from the duty of bearing arms and waging war against the French and the savages, and that the said French have agreed and promised never to bear arms against the English crown.
Phillips only tells London that he has obtained the complete submission of a people who have been obstinate for so long. The Acadians believe they have found a way to preserve their religion and way of life. From 1730 on, the English colonists call them French neutrals. But the governor's compromise will have terrible consequences. A wind of hatred is blowing through North America, and by 1755, Acadia is in the eye of the storm. 10 years earlier, Louisbourg had become such a threat to Boston that the governor of Massachusetts, William Shirley, with a colonial army, attacked and captured it. Later, Shirley is enraged to learn that Louisbourg will be given back to France. the Acadians become the target of his fury.
The province of Nova Scotia will never be out of danger as long as the Acadians are tolerated there. If I had an army, I would lead it to Minas and Grand Pre. I would break the dikes again. I would lay waste the whole country. I would drown this brood of vipers.
In 1749, the English built their own fortress, Halifax, on Chebucto Bay. A clash is inevitable. The New York Gazette's correspondent in Halifax writes that the Acadians must go.
We are now upon a great and noble scheme of sending the neutral French out of this province, who have always been secret enemies. If we effect their expulsion, it will be one of the greatest things that ever the English did in America. For by all accounts, that part of the country they possess is as good a land as any in the world. We could get some good English farmers in their room.
A new governor, Charles Lawrence, demands that the Acadians swear a new oath, this time with no reservations. But the Acadians refuse to renounce the promise made 25 years earlier.
Our fathers, having taken for themselves and on our behalf an oath of allegiance which has since been approved many times in the name of the King, we will never commit the inconsistency of swearing an oath which, in any small way, alters the conditions and privileges which have been granted to us in the past by our fathers and our sovereigns.
Lawrence makes his decision. On August the 11th, 1755, he writes to Lieutenant Colonel John Winslow, commander of a Massachusetts unit at Grand Pre.
You must collect the inhabitants together in order to their being transported in the best manner in your power, either by stratagem or force, as circumstances may require. But, above all, I desire you would not pay the least attention to any remonstrance or memorial from any of the inhabitants.
I therefore order all the inhabitants, both old men and young men, as well as all the lads of 10 years of age, to attend the church at Grand Pre on Friday the 5th instant at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The duty I have now, though necessary, is very disagreeable to my nature and temper, as I know it must be grievous to you, who are of the same species as I am. Your lands and tenements, cattle of all kinds, and livestock of all sorts are forfeited to the crown with all your other effects except your money and household goods. And you yourselves are to be removed from this province.
Non! Vous n'avez pas le droit!
Acadia has been a British possession for 42 years. Almost all these people were born British subjects.
Gather your possessions. Be quick about it.
John Thomas, a doctor with Winslow's troops, kept a meticulous journal during the autumn of 1755.
September 2nd. Pleasant Day, Lieutenant John Endicott on shore with men to burn a village at a place called Petioja. September 18th. Very hard gale of wind, much rain and snow. Major Pribble returned with his party, having burned 200 houses and barns.
In the summer of 1755, 12,000 Acadians of French origin live in Acadia. That year, 7,000 are expelled. The upheaval will last for 5 years. More than 10,000 Acadians will be sent into exile.
Began to embark the inhabitants, who went very sullenly and unwillingly, the women in great distress, carrying off their children in their arms. others carrying their decrepit parents in their carts and all their goods, moving in great confusion and appeared a scene of woe and distress.
Most of the Acadians are deported to the American colonies, but they are not welcome there. Jean Labrador and his family of 7 end up in Salem, Massachusetts.
I was refused a team of oxen to fetch home the firewood that I'd cut myself. We were left in the middle of winter without fire or victuals, in a house with no doors or roof. When it rains, we're obliged to move the bed from part of the wet to leeward. When I told one of the selectmen that we were afloat in the house, he said that I should build a boat and sail it.
A third of the Acadians who were deported will die of typhoid, smallpox, or yellow fever. One-third more make their way to the French colony of Louisiana. The rest are scattered to France, the English colonies, and the Caribbean. When the deportation ends, only 165 French families remain in Acadia. And in 1756, the wind of war that blows over North America will become a hurricane.